Why is Tesla stock so much cheaper today? Well, if you've been paying attention, I had been explaining to you, I'd say maybe 2 or 3 times within the last month or two, that Tesla had approved a stock split back in June. And I made a couple of videos about whether or not you should invest in Tesla, with the last one being a video clip of me taking one of my friends to drive the Tesla Model Y. So basically, this is a really simple story, actually, that really doesn't need to be a story, but, they felt it necessary to have something to say. So it says Tesla's stock price is set to drop at the opening bell Thursday, that's today, and it's already been confirmed, it's already happened, the stock did split. But not because of anything Elon Musk tweeted about or demand for electric vehicles, full self-driving features, SpaceX updates, etc., etc. The electric car company completed a 3-for-1 stock split after the closing bell Wednesday. So one share now costs exactly a third of what it did a day ago. Tesla closed around $891 on Wednesday, which means it was trading a little under $300 Thursday. Tesla approved the split in June, its second such split in the past 2 years. But before you start celebrating about how one Tesla share is now cheaper, keep in mind that nothing changes with the valuation. The company is still worth more than $930 billion after the split. Shares continue to trade at a lofty multiple of more than 70 times 2022 earnings forecast, a huge premium to the valuation of traditional auto companies like Ford, GM, Volkswagen, and Toyota. And the stock is still down about 15% this year as investors worry about growing competition in the EV market from traditional automakers, as well as Musk's many possible distractions such as SpaceX, the Boring Company, the Twitter takeover, and such and such. Elon Musk's bumpy road to possibly owning Twitter is ultimately the problem. I have to always wonder, where would Tesla stock be if Elon Musk didn't get himself involved with the freaking Dogecoin cryptocurrency scams, and if he didn't get himself involved in this Twitter nonsense? It was almost as if the whole Twitter thing was nothing more than a distraction in order to throw everything off the rails. But we'll never know. So it says the only thing that the stock split changed is that existing investors now own 3 times as many shares of Tesla, trading at 1/3 of the price they ended at on Wednesday. That includes Musk, the world's richest person with a net worth of about $264 billion, according to Forbes. Musk still owns approximately 15% of Tesla's common stock. Companies with high share prices often split their stocks to make the cost of one share more valuable for individual investors. The rationale is that some investors might be more inclined to buy a stock if it's trading at a lower price. Amazon, Shopify, Google owner Alphabet, Google, and meme stock have all done splits in the past couple of months. GameStop split was actually interesting to me because I didn't actually hear much talk about it, and I really didn't see much fanfare about it. I guess it's because GameStop is not as popular as Tesla. But the issue ultimately is the GameStop stock split. There was no reason to be excited about it because if you really look back at the whole Reddit short squeeze scenario, a lot of people lost a lot of money in GameStop. And that's one of the things that I pride myself on. When I had people calling me up and trying to figure out how to get into GameStop, I told them stay away from that shit because I knew as soon as I saw it was happening, I understood a couple of things. Number one, I knew it was a pump and dump. Number two, I knew Roaring Kitty was running this pump and dump, and I knew that they had coordinated this nonsense because a couple of investors never could have pulled off a stock squeeze of that level. So what they tried to do is they tried to get as many people into it as simultaneously in order to pump those numbers up as high as they possibly could before they sold their shares. So again, and I railed about this in another video, I was wondering, why is it that the SEC, the IRS, the FBI, whoever, why is it that they didn't crack down on these people and put a stop to this immediately? What I saw happen and what I reported on was basically the governments paused trading on GameStop. So the European government, the European Union governments, they actually paused trading. And then in America, there was a pause on trading, which Robinhood said, oh, yeah, well, we have to stop trading because there's not enough stock left or the computers broke down or whatever. And it appeared to me that what was happening was they were giving the hedge funds enough time to protect themselves and get their money out of there. So, the little guy can cry and whine and shit all they want. But the bottom line is, at the end of the day, the super rich don't lose money. And they damn sure ain't going to lose money to the little guy, these pores who think that they can somehow get together and run a scam and manipulate Wall Street. It's not going to happen. So, yes, Amazon did a split. Google did a split. I am up on my Amazon split. I had been telling you, I think it was since February, to get your Amazon and to get your Google. I bought enough shares at that time so that when they did the split, because if I'm not mistaken, the split was 20-1. I had 5 shares Amazon. I had 5 shares Google. So right now I have over 100 shares Google. I have over 100 shares Amazon. And I was telling y'all back then, I was like, listen, get in. You can look at the videos. I don't take down any of my videos. They're still up. And I understand that a lot of people don't have that kind of disposable income, especially considering what's been going on with the economy. I understand that. So I'm not holding it against you. I just hope that you got at least one share, because even if you got one share, then you got 20 shares. Now you have 20 shares. As far as Tesla goes, because I'm going to get back to topic, but as far as Tesla goes, Tesla's going to be easily $1 trillion company. It appears to me that Tesla could exceed $1 trillion and go to $2 trillion. And even though there are other companies encroaching into the electric vehicle market, I would say the number one company right now, besides Tesla for electric vehicles, is actually Hyundai and Kia. Like maybe Hyundai and Kia being 1 and 2, because Genesis claims that it isn't Hyundai because they tried to spin off Genesis. So those 3 companies, Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis, the South Koreans are very, very far into making these electric vehicles. Now, I know some people might want to argue that it's actually China's BYD that Warren Buffett invested in. However, I would argue that it's really Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis, because as far as I'm concerned, it's all one company. I mean, they'll never say that, oh yeah, Kia is the same as Hyundai, but as far as I'm concerned, it's all one company. They're sharing the exact same platform for that car. The Kia EV6, the Genesis GV60, the Hyundai Ioniq 5. I drove all 3 of them. I made videos on all 3 of them on my channel. As far as I'm concerned, it's all the same. But obviously, they would disagree with me. But the bottom line is, I think Hyundai and Kia have been giving Tesla the best rivalry. Mercedes brought out its EQ products, but Mercedes products are more expensive than Hyundai and Kia and Genesis. Obviously, like the EQS 580 is $130,000 or $140,000. The EQS 450 is like $100,000, possibly $120,000, depending upon if you can get it without the markups. Then you've got these other companies bringing these electric trucks to market. Hummer, to get a Hummer right now, you're going to pay $250,000. You're going to pay $250,000 for a Hummer. Ain't nobody got that, with the exception of the super rich. And then there's the, Ford Lightning. The Ford Lightning was designed to be a regular truck for regular people who wanted an electric vehicle truck. And there's a markup on them between $30,000 and $70,000. So you're not even going to get this regular truck. You can't even get it at MSRP. Tesla has the exact same problems with the chip shortage. It's just that because of the shortage in supplies, Tesla has had to push everything back. The semi-truck's been pushed back. The Cybertruck's been pushed back. The Roadster's been pushed back. So at the end of the day, I think Tesla doing these stock splits and whatnot, they've been trying to keep interest and energy up in the company despite the fact that they can't even release new products. I mean, if you ordered a Y or a 3 today, you wouldn't get it for a year. That's crazy. And that's just what you're dealing with. But I see, and I've showed you the business model. I could show it again. But I see Tesla's going to do very, very well. They've got their full supercharger network. They've got all of these vehicles that are still sight unseen. They're still coming. But, it's all a matter of waiting at this point. I'm tired of waiting. As you can see, you have the semi-truck, and apparently they're supposed to start delivering semi-trucks very soon. And they're saying that the semi-truck's going to get a range between 300 and 500 miles. So basically, this is a truck that's going to take over, like, day trucking. Like, this is not for the long-range truckers. This is not for the ice road truckers. This is for truckers who are making short-range deliveries where you can actually get, like, a full load delivered in one day or whatever. So this is like if you're doing trucking in the tri-state area, or if you're doing very, very short runs, or if you have a lot of time to recharge. They can. I don't know exactly how long it takes to recharge this thing, because if you notice, that's the one thing they don't talk about, is how long does it take to recharge a fucking semi truck that gets 500 miles. But time will tell. We'll find out. The last post I had made about Tesla. Oh, yes, about the split. Because I had posted a couple of times about the stock split. I had posted a couple of times. But the thing that I found was most important was talking about Tesla's valuation. So, yes, if you had invested $1,000 in Tesla 1 year ago, your investment right now would be about $1,300 today. And that's of August 10, 2022. If you had invested about $1,000 5 years ago, and that was before they did the 5-to-1 split, and obviously before they just did the 3-to-1 split, $1,000 5 years ago would have gotten you $12,160. If you had invested $1,000 back in 2012, right now you'd be worth over $145,000 for each of those $1,000 blocks that you had invested. And the reason why Tesla's doing so well, as we're seeing right now with all of these ridiculous markups and these dealer market adjusted prices, Tesla has proven that the dealer model sucks. So as you can see, Tesla has the highest market cap for the most part. They are worth more than Stellantis, Honda, Ford, GM, Mercedes, Toyota, and Volkswagen combined, while simultaneously having less debt than them combined. And if you take them individually, Tesla has less debt than any of them individually. And that's a pretty that's a pretty amazing accomplishment if you really think about it. Now, yes, Stellantis is smaller, Honda is smaller, and they also have less debt. But if you look at their debt to cap ratios, obviously you can see from this that Tesla's doing the best. So, as I said before, while I completely disagree with Tesla's interiors, I think their interiors suck and are amateurish. While I completely have some issues with how they do business, the simple fact is they operate like a corporation, and they're focused specifically on profit. And as you can see, they're mostly about profit and revenue, and they're doing pretty well. So it's hard to argue with that. But I already told you, it's like if you could get into Tesla and you can afford to get stock in Tesla, if you have the exposable or if you have money that you don't need, expendable, disposable income, whatever you want to call it, yeah. If you can get in, you should get in. If I wish you could have gotten in when I first told you about this stock split years ago, Because for every $1,000 you had put in 5 years ago, you would have had $12,000. I can't argue that point. But some of you were determined, oh, no, I'm going to put my money in Dogecoin. I'm going to put my money in Shiba Inu because we're going to have a boat party. I'm going to put my money in Bitcoin. I'm going to put my money in Ethereum. Well, listen, you guys can do what you want. I'm over here cashing fat fucking checks.